Man, it is 2024, man, and I'm glad that we are all here to celebrate it and see this year all the way through together. Man, we're gonna win this year. We're gonna win big. We're gonna win consistently. I was asked recently about my business and why I felt that I was going to win, why I believed that I was going to win, and my answer was simply this: I know the definition of winning, and I know how to execute it, and that's what we're going to get into as soon as we get back to principles of winning.
I'm turning dreams into reality.
So I'm all about winning, and I know that you all about winning too. So in 2024, we're going to win. We're going to win. Let me make sure I turn it on the comments over here just in case I need to answer some of the questions that you guys have out there. But hey, Happy New Year to everyone that's out there, that's ready to go, that's geared up for 2024, that's ready to make this the best year yet. I'm here with you. We're going to do this together. Today is all about we will win, and I'm going to tell you how. First of all, to win, we got to understand the game that we're playing. And here's the game that I'm playing this year for 2024 for Bear Down Logistics. We want to scale from a $1.25 million company all the way up to $10 million. That's 8x of what we did in 2023. Can we do it? Of course we can. Will we do it? Of course we will. That's the belief. And for what I do as a speaker, motivational speaker, and as a leadership team development specialist with Des Clark Speaks, we want to have 30 paid speaking engagements this year. That's the game that we're playing. And your game don't have to be my game. You can have whatever game, but you got to define that game for yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, some examples of defining your game. But my game is that, hey, we want to go from 1.25 million all the way up to 10 million this year. And I have the process. I have the guys. I have the horses to do it. But we got to define it. So what's your game that you're playing? And did you already define 2024? What is going to really count for success for you? How do you measure that? What is that goal? What are you reaching? That's the game that you're playing this year. So the next question that I have for you is, really, do you expect to win? Do you really expect to win? Because I know they say put all these goals out there, try to make them where you got to reach for them, where they're not too easy, but they're not too far away. But do you really expect to win? And I ask that question because you got to really examine yourself. And if you have any doubt about whether you're going to hit your goals this year, it's going to be one or two things that's holding you back. Either you don't believe in your vision and you're just throwing something out there and you're really not sold on what it is that you're trying to get accomplished this year. You're really not sold on that vision. You really don't feel like, hey, that's me. That's who I am. That's who I've become over the years. So in 2024, that's my destiny. That's one thing. The other thing is this. You don't believe in the plan of action, the plan of execution to accomplish that goal. What's up, Ali? How you doing, sir? It's either one of those two things. You don't believe in your vision, or you don't believe in the plan of execution to get there. And that brings us to what the meat of this live is all about. How do we develop a plan of execution to put us in the most advantageous position to reach our goals, to win that game that we're playing? And again, my game this year, I'm putting it out there. I'm not scared of it. Bear Down Logistics will get to $10 million of revenue this year, going from 1.25 to $10 million. That is a huge goal, but I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight for it. And I got my boys here. They're ready to fight for it also. What's your win this year? Bear Down Logistics, we talked about that. Des Clark Speaks, 30 paid speaking engagements or 30 appearances this year, paid. That's what we're doing. Anything less than that, hey, we can't count it as a victory. But How do we develop that game plan? First is this: we got to understand what the definition of win is. And when I was asked that question a few months ago when I was on stage, hey, why do you feel so confident that you're going to win, that you're going to get to $100 million with Bear Down Logistics? And here was my answer. My answer was this: because I understand the definition of win and I understand how to execute it. So first of all, let's define what win is. And today's definition of win is more so about being successful or victorious or acquiring or securing a result. And all of that is all well and good, but it leaves out two words. When you go to the origin definition of win, the origin of that word win, it is simply this: to gain or succeed. And here's those two words: by struggle. And that's what consistent winners, they understand those last two words: by struggle. I don't subscribe to sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Yeah, if you want some one-off victories, but if you want to win consistently, what you got to do is learn to lean in to the struggle, because that's where the winning is at. So how do you win consistently? After you define that win, and we talked about the definition of defining your game and what that win is, now you got to identify the struggle. For me, my struggle is this: I got broker agents that if I want to get to $10 million, I have a few broker agents that I need to get them to $2 million. And then we're going after government contracts this year. I need to get my government contract VP up to $2 million. So now that leaves $6 million. And we have a plan to go after companies that import and export over to Mexico, and also construction companies. We got to get $6 million from that lane. So 2, 2, 6 to get to that 10. But my struggle is going to be this: are my processes, my systems, my SOPs, are they good enough to scale up to 10 million? I already know that my billing and invoicing is not good enough for a $10 million company. That is the first thing that I'm working on in 2024. Matter of fact, I started working on it in 2023. So when we come into 2024, we're ready to hit the ground running. That's going to be a struggle. I don't know anything about billing and invoicing right now. I could tell you that, but I'm learning. And it's been a struggle, and it's going to continue to be a struggle probably for another 2 or 3 weeks until I can get the process down on how do you bill an invoice at a $10 million level. That's the struggle. And when you lean into that struggle, so when you define that win and then you start leaning into that struggle, you start looking at the things that, all right, if I want to get here, here's the things that I'm going to struggle with. And as an employee, you're trying to get a promotion. Well, you may have to get more responsibility. How do you get more responsibility? That's going to be the struggle. Developing better relationships with people that's in charge and making sure that they see you, that they hear you. That's going to be a struggle. Having a tough one-on-one with someone that is in charge of you getting that promotion, to let them know, hey, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to be. And I think I'm qualified with that. But I haven't been heard. I haven't been seen. Having those tough one-on-one conversations, that may be the struggle for you. As an athlete, you may want to be a starter this year, but you got to get bigger, stronger, faster, better. You got to understand the game better. So now you got to go to the weight room. You got to hit those weight harders. You got to do more sprint training. You got to understand the game better. You got to do more film study. You got to do more than what the person in front of you is doing if you want to get better than that person so you could be the starter. That's going to be your struggle. And then getting in the games and executing. That's the struggle that you got to go through. And that's the only thing that you're focused on. Let's talk about senior or executive leaders. Man, for you to get to where you want to go, your teams have to be intact. You got to set that foundation of trust. You got to set that foundation of conflict resolution. And that's your struggle. How are you going to attack that struggle? Day in, day out. What is going to be the game plan? Let's talk about an entrepreneur. You probably got a lot of struggles just like I have of learning, just learning how to get to where you want to be, learning the systems, the processes to scale up, learning all of these things that we don't know as an entrepreneur. That is the struggle, getting up early in the morning before the day gets started at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning so I could read, so I could study, and I could do all of that stuff because at 8 o'clock, it's time to go with my team now. That's the struggle. And that's where the consistent wins are. Let's just say a stay-at-home mom or dad. Where's that struggle? When you're trying to get your kids to that next level, better study habits, right? Spending more time, thinking of more creative ways to get them to think and to understand. Let's talk about just wanting to have better health in 2024. Where's that struggle? Getting to the gym, putting a workout plan together that you can actually do. So what it comes down to, if you want to win consistently, you got to defeat the struggle. And the only way to defeat the struggle is this: have an actionable game plan that you can stick to and be consistent with and grow into and grow from. That's how you defeat the struggle. First, define the win. And after you define that win and you know exactly what game you're playing and what you're trying to win with and win on, now you got to understand, where am I going to struggle? What are things that I need to know, learn, get better at? I need to conquer this monster or climb that hill. Identify those things, because that is going to determine. When I say that, you defeating those things, you having a game plan to defeat those things, and that's what you focus on daily. And when you focus on those things daily, you overcome those things daily, that's when you start to win consistently. And yeah, it's going to be hard at first. It's just like lifting weights. You put 200 pounds on a weight bench, and man, that first time is hard, but you keep going back day after day after day. And then the second day, you get it a couple more times. And then you come back next week after getting a little bit stronger, and it continues to get easier and easier and easier. See, life will never get easier. It's all about you getting stronger and getting better to deal with life, the hardness of life. And as you continue to get better and it will get easier, that's when you'll win consistently. It's all about the process of greatness. It's all about the process of greatness. And you guys know what the process of greatness is. Execute the details in excellence consistently over time. I guarantee you, if you do that and you subscribe to that, you'll put yourself in the best position to win every time. This is Principles of Winning, man. Y'all check back in with me. Go subscribe on Principles of Winning in YouTube and all over social media. Hey, we're going to get this today. Not just today, but all year, 2024. Let's have the best year we had yet. I know it's just a start. Everybody's gung-ho right now, but let's keep this energy up. Y'all help me keep my energy up. I help you keep your energy up, and we're going to knock it out in 2024. Let's go win, baby.